Alright, welcome back to the channel. Hey, in today's video we're going to talk about decals and chipping. So just to start off with, decals really don't need a lot of explanation. You know, they really haven't changed. Just make sure when you're pulling them off the backing that they're ready to come off. I've ripped up a number of decals over the years just by impatience. So what I like to do is I lay down a gloss base, let that dry, and then I come back and put the decals on it. On a flat surface like this, I didn't use any decal set, and all the flat surfaces on the vehicle are going to be getting decals, so there won't be anything like Zimmerit that we've got to get the decals in. The other thing I like to do is once the decals are dry, is I like to put a gloss coat across it, across the decals, just to protect them. So I've got this on the middle screen, on the middle panel, and here's the back. I've got that just painted in yellow. Here's a panel that I've weathered and chipped, and this is for the other side. And I think the chipping tied with the weathering, it just adds another layer to the model, and perhaps you can see the chipping more on this side. You can see the chips that I put in, and a bit of, I call it rust, just kind of run off from the welds where the skirt hangers are at. So in terms of chipping, you have to determine what your base color is. Here, my base color is yellow, you know, the Duncan Gelb. So I've got a bit of yellow ochre from Vallejo. And what I want to do is, because these panels rubbed up against each other, I am pretty sure that there was chipping on the panels that contacted each other, because the side skirts were individual panels that rode in mounts, and the mounts were deliberately loose, so the skirt could come off if it needed to, and not tear the rest of the system and the hangers off the vehicle. And on the outside of the vehicle, these plates would have got scraped going through brush, going through, you know, obstacles. These plates, if they hadn't got knocked off, they'd have been pretty beat up and pushed around. So I'm going to put little scratches there. I'm going to work on the inside. Now the hangers themselves had a metal-to-metal contact, so undoubtedly with the mounting system there would have been chipping. You won't see a lot of these panels, or the inside of the panel, when it's hung on the vehicle, but I think if you do see something, it'll add another layer of detail to your kit. So we'll just put it in there, and really they're just random. So then what I like to do, and again this is all preference and what you've done over the years, just get that yellow off the brush. And I come back, this time I'm using a German dark camo brown. And I like this color. I guess raw umber or burnt sienna would work the same, but I like to use this as the actual chip. What we're doing here is known as a two-layer chip, where you've got the initial scratch to the paint surface, which is lightened it, and then the actual surface that's been revealed. So what we're doing is we're just trying to get a dot of paint or so inside the larger of the larger yellow stain. And with this technique, honestly, more is less. I think, again, it really is personal taste. I have seen some kits online that were really chipped, and God, it looked beautiful. Was it realistic? I don't know, but I did like the look. So what I'm doing is I'm just doing enough where I like it. And again, weathering, depending on how much or how little weathering you're doing, weathering will mask some of this. So, and as you can see, we're just working them around, just getting them in there and on the panels. A good brush and a steady hand is what you need. A lot of people use sponges. I've tried sponges. I just don't think I'm getting the right sponge. I haven't had a lot of luck with that. But that's what chipping looks like. And it, you know, and if you want, you can just kind of draw something across the decals. Just a bit of continuity there. So hopefully that's something you're interested in doing. I like it as a technique. I try to do a minimum amount of chipping where it would make sense. If it's actually real, I don't know. But that's what we're doing. I'm gonna go ahead and show you, I've done a bit of chipping on the vehicle itself. You can see here on the back deck. And at the moment, it looks okay, but with the weathering, it'll tie it all in together. And I'm pretty happy with the way it's coming out so far. You can see on the rail system where these hangers are, where the side skirts hang up on, there's going to be a lot of chipping and wear on that, so that's always a good spot. And where the crew comes in and out, and just the corners and edges. But it really is up to the model. All right then, we'll see you in the next video. Chipping is a great technique. It's kind of, it can go anywhere between artistic and realistic. There's two schools of thought. One school of thought is that the vehicles themselves didn't last long enough to be as chipped as they are, and American paints especially were very well applied and really didn't chip that much. On the other hand, from an artistic standpoint, I think it looks really good, and combined with other weathering effects and pin washes, it really makes the model pop. So it's up to the modeler how much they want to chip or not chip. It's up to you, it's your kit. All right, however you decide, good luck with the technique. Hopefully you've got something out of today's video. All right then.